I'm live. Live for episode 10. We're already at 10 episodes. I know, I'm amazed that I've streamed for this long and for this many episodes, but I have, and I've gotten used to it. I'm enjoying it a lot more than uploading individual videos up to my YouTube channel, which is really annoying because I have to make thumbnails, I have to edit the videos, I have to do this, that, and the third, and it's just ridiculous. So, which is why I prefer to stream, and every once in a while upload a clip to my channel. I'm gonna give everybody a couple minutes to get on before I start, though. Oops. Let me finish up here. Great. Here you go. Make sure everybody knows I'm live, though. What is it with... Oh, here we go. Someone's moving around my door. Or it must be the wind moving around my door. Jeez. I mean, it's like so... I'm hot today. I'm over here sweating even though it's like 52 degrees right now. Oops, wait a minute. That's the wrong count. I have way too many accounts. Actually, I have 2 accounts. So my backup account and I have my main account. Which, by the way, you should follow. Everyone should follow both accounts. So let me see. Let me put that up there while I'm about to start. So, I'm about to sneeze. Jesus. Today is Tuesday. How's everyone on this Tuesday afternoon? By the way, this is royalty-free music that's popped up here. I'm bored, so I wanted to play some music, so... Alright, so I'm gonna start in like a minute or so. I'm just making sure everything is good. I'm gonna be better about actually looking at the Rofkin and Rumble chats, because I never really opened those things, and it's quite... So if you've been, following me on the Rumble and other chats, I appreciate it, but I haven't really been looking at that too much, so I apologize, but... Really, something went wrong? Why am I paying $150 a month for Comcast for? It's just ridiculous. Oops. Whew. All right. Gonna start here in a few minutes, in a minute. So let's just do that. Let me get rid of that shameless plug on my Twitter because I really don't need it right now. Make sure you follow me on follow me on Twitter. Make sure you like the stream if you're on YouTube. Very important. Even on Rumble and Odyssey. I'm not even streaming on Odyssey, aren't I? No, I'm just streaming right now on Rofkin, Rumble, Twitter, and my YouTube channel, and Twitch too. So make sure you follow me subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Make sure you follow me on Twitch. Make sure you subscribe to the INN YouTube channel. All that good stuff. Alright. If this music is shitty, let me know. I just wanted to put something different, so it's not just my voice. It is royalty free, so not have to worry about getting stripped off the stream or anything like that. So yeah, I'm gonna update everybody on. There's updates on the school shooting from yesterday. Oops, what did I just do? Oh, okay, that's good. So apparently the shooter is a woman, not just any woman, but a trans woman. Well, I don't know. Why did I just forget her goddamn name? Like, no. We just learned from John Roberts of Fox News that Nashville Covenant shooter killer was being treated for an emotional disorder, and as such was apparently hiding guns from her parents. So apparently she has some sort of emotional disorder. I'm going to speculate and say bipolar disorder, because I'm bipolar and I have these incredible back and forths when it comes to my emotional and mental state. So right now my assumption, I'm going to assume and speculate she has bipolar, because I'm bipolar and I know how that feels. And she was, there's some video of her driving around and stuff and planning this out. Trans rights. Or else. I never seen that shirt. That's an interesting shirt. It seems like, they're threatening violence there. Trans rights or else. They dropped the pretense of thoughts and prayers and moved straight to criminals gonna criminal. We pay these people. Blah, blah, blah. We need to fix these problems. All the bickering is less helpful. So cussing people out on Twitter for their opinion. Look at this baby's face. Her innocence taken away yesterday. Yeah, more. What about the kids and shit like that? Let's see. Let's turn this off for now. Don't need that. And this is actual body cam footage of the police officers going into the school, and it does show, or at least the one that I saw, it does show them killing the suspect or the shooter. So I probably won't play that part. I'll just stop it right before. Or at the very least, I'll do that.
Okay.
While I talk about it. I mean, this video, at least the one I saw, showed the actual shooting of the shooter. The shooter being killed, basically. I'm not going to show that part because I'm pretty sure that's a violation of YouTube's TOS, terms of service, because apparently we can't even. So I don't want to take that risk that it'll violate terms of service. Meanwhile, while this is playing, I'm gonna remember or try to figure out the victim's name, or the victim's name, the shooter's name, because for some reason it slipped my mind, and uh, what the hell's her name? What is her name? Maybe I don't remember right now. Why am I forgetting her name? And why can't I find it either? Three adults, three children. Nashville shooting victim. Kids identified. Um, this is. Do. This is just too much. So at least the cops in this case, unlike in the in Uvalde, actually went in and took care of the situation pretty quickly. Unlike in Uvalde, where they hid and they didn't go on for nearly 2 hours while the perpetrator was shooting and killing a bunch of people in the school. Audrey Hale. The shooter's name was teammate Audrey Hale's provide new chilling details regarding exchange she had on social media with the shooter prior to the yesterday's shooting in Nashville. So let me show you guys this real quick. Oops. Thank you, Audrey Hale. Yeah, I figured it out right when Ariania Patton, I butchered her first name, but whatever, said she saw a message on her phone that Hale sent on Instagram Monday morning that stated Hale was planning to die by suicide and that she would see to it on the news. A screenshot of the message was published by WTBF. It appeared to show the message sent at 9:57 a.m. local time. Is Tennessee on the Eastern time, EST? I think so. So it would have been yesterday morning. One day this will make more sense, Hale wrote. I left behind more than enough evidence behind, but something bad is about to happen, the message stated. I tried to comfort and encourage her and subsequently reached out to the suicide prevention helpline after being instructed by my father at 10:08 a.m. Patton tells WTBF that she called the Nashville-Davidson County Sheriff's Office at 10:13 a.m. to make them aware of the situation and was instructed to call Nashville's non-emergency number. I called Nashville's non-emergency number at 10:14 a.m. and was on hold for nearly 7 minutes before speaking to someone who said they would send an officer to my home. An officer did not come to my home until 3:29 p.m. So 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5 hours later, they sent somebody. Okay, Eastern. Thank you. Don Aaron, spokesperson for the Metro Nashville Police Department, said during a news conference that the first calls of an active shooter came around 10:15 a.m. local time. So, the friend of the shooter called Nashville's non-emergency line at 10:14 a.m. was on hold for 7 minutes, and the first calls of active shooting came around 10:15 a.m. a minute later. So her friend did all the right things. She called the suicide prevention line. She called the police to let them know that she's going to do something. Unfortunately, she didn't have a location or where it's going to happen. But she was doing all the right things. It seems like when officers arrived, they went through the first level of the building. Then they heard gunshots coming from the second level of the building, according to Aaron. He said that where the police confronted and killed the shooter at 10:27 a.m. local time. All right, so this is based. That was most recent update. Looks like the rest of these are the names of the victim. I think church confirms Homer's pastor daughter died in Nashville police shooting. That's tragic. That's just tragic there. I actually screwed up. But yeah, I mean, this is the actual video of body cam footage from the officer there that actually, shot the suspect. Hold on, I should probably cut that off there. I'm pretty sure that's the part where they shoot her. Yeah. Yeah, this is at that point. She's dead. She's right there at that point. But I don't want to take the chance of violating YouTube TOS, so which is why I skipped it there a little bit. But yeah, if you want to watch the whole body cam footage, it's on Twitter. I mean, people have tweeted it out left and right. But yeah, she's right there. I'm pretty sure. I remember she's right there where the officer's gun is out there. She's, at that point been shot and killed by the police. I bookmarked some tweets I wanted to. All right, here we go. So we have this tweet that went out 53 minutes ago. Police say Nashville school shooter legally bought 7 firearms in recent years, hid them from parents. According to Associated Press. Let's see. That's more of that. So this video is Audrey Hale methodically targeting Christian school in Nashville. So this is more body cam footage here, or not really body cam, but oh come on! I just fucking. This is more surveillance footage of her driving around the school. So there it is. She's just circling the school. Looks like a Prius. Is that a Prius? It's a pretty small vehicle there. So clearly, she was casing the school to figure out where to enter or how to enter. So it looks like that's her entering right there. Oh yeah, that's definitely her entering. Look at her shooting out the. She's shooting out the door there and stuff, the glass door. So there she is right there. Looks like that's a fire alarm going off up there. Walking around, looks like she's looking for people to shoot. It is kind of creepy just to watch this individual. I'm gonna call her and she because she's a trans woman, so I'm gonna use those pronouns even though it may not be correct, but it's just haunting to watch an active shooter like this just go around with their weapon just looking for victims. I couldn't imagine going through something like this when I was in school 30 years ago. Yeah, 30 years ago now. It's amazing how much time flies and how old I am. I could. This is haunting just to watch this. Now they're apparently, excuse me. Now they're apparently training kids to what to do in a situation like this when there's an active shooter. What to do? I mean, Jesus. This apparently happened yesterday. Joe Biden was supposed to address the school shooting, but instead came out and started talking about good-looking kids in front of him. Fox cut it away quickly. Again, I'm not sure this exactly about the shooting or it was it's other context, but it's still very creepy. It's still very creepy he did this.
Folks,
Oh my god, did he just do that? He's like, Susan says, I don't get it. Why the need to kill Why do you need to kill people, especially school children? But like I said yesterday in my stream yesterday, I would prefer it if you don't commit suicide. I mean, ideally, life is worth living. But if you're going to do it to yourself. Why feel the need to go to a school and shoot children? I'll never understand that obsession with. I'm not sure if it's for fame, for attention, or what. But the first big school shooting I remember, and I was in high school then. It was Columbine. It was back in '99. That was really like the first one I remember at least. Maybe there were some before, and I don't remember. I don't really pay attention, but the first one I really do remember is Columbine. Ever since then, it seems like there's this obsession to become those two kids, which I forget their names right now. But it just seemed an obsession with become famous and getting your name out there, even if it means you have to kill a bunch of children to get your name out there. It's just disgusting. If you're going to do that, do it to hurt yourself. Don't hurt some children. You know that or it's not their fault. Jealousy, possibly. Yeah. So Joe Biden here is just ridiculous. So let's play this real quick.
Folks,
What? Did he just do that? He's like, folks, welcome to the White House. You can barely hear it. It's like me if I say, folks, welcome to the White House. Like, you can't hear anything, or you can barely hear anything with my mic up. Why do you do that? It's like, folks, welcome to the White House. Like, I feel that's like this is my mic. I put it up. You can barely hear anything. I'm just, there's nothing going on here. It's like I'm a whisperer. Unbelievable.
it's a delight to have you all here. And who are those good-looking kids back there?
Oh my God.
Are your kids, all four of them?
Oh my God, that's so creepy. Like, who are the good-looking kids back there? He looks like a creepy old man.
Stand up, guys.
Imagine if Trump did that. He's like, who are those pretty little kids back there? It's like the media would tear him to shreds for that. Because he's like, oh, creepy old man, la 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 la. Like, okay, Rick says he went to that school. It seemed like it was more a revenge thing. I think her manifesto she wrote points that out. Yeah, I've been reading a bunch of stuff about this, and there's so much new information that's coming out that I missed that one. So thank you for that. He sees kids in the back at the pool at the corn pop days mentally. I mean, with Biden, I don't know. I mean, he's not all there mentally, clearly.
John, we'll jump back in here. Considering the moment,
we were told that
the shooting that just happened left 3 children dead, 3 adults dead, shooters dead, and we were told he would be addressing this off the top.
Yeah, it's rather surprising. I thought that a somber President Biden would have come to the podium here and addressed this school shooting.
Apparently, Fox News cut into that. It's like, wait, what? I mean, why is he talking about good-looking kids and stuff and la 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 instead of talking about the school shooting?
He's yucking it up with the crowd at the East Room. So why don't we dump out of this, and when the president decides that he's going to address this, we'll jump back into it. Bill, we were speaking with you.
Folks.
So he just started rambling on and on about the kids, good-looking kids in the back. Everybody's laughing about it like it's funny. And Fox News was like, "Yeah, this is creepy. Let's just cut away from this for now. And when the president gets back to the school shooting that had just happened, we'll cut back into it." Like even Fox News was creeped out by that. He wants the kids to come up and brush the hairs on his leg. Ugh, that just creeped me out there. It's like that's. Yeah, I mean, I saw this live. My mom, and she was like, "Why is he smiling and laughing?" Yeah, I mean, what the? I mean, and it's not just him. Everyone was laughing. Everyone, it's like, what's wrong with you? I mean, the callousness of that. It was just unbelievable. It's like he was supposed to be talking about, like at least with Obama when Sandy Hook happened, he he cried, even though it was pretend. It was clear because I remember him doing this. Wait, let me. I remember him doing this, but there's no tears. Clearly, I mean, he just did this because he thought, because he wanted people to think that he was crying or something. But yeah, at least Obama pretended like like he was like he was sad about the victims and stuff of the shootings and blah 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 blah. Meanwhile, Obama never really cried, as you know. All right, this is interesting. I bookmarked this. This is from Libs of TikTok. Mentally ill trans terrorist kills 6 people. Deranged leftist. Again, this is of course the Libs of TikTok account, so she's gonna claim it's trans terrorists, but it yes, Obama knows how to put on a show. Yeah, I mean he was good. He's a good politician. I'll give him that. But ultimately, ultimately he was a terrible president. But this is Libs of TikTok here. I wanted to play this real quick, but it says mentally ill trans terrorist kills 6 people. Again, I don't know whether it was terrorism technically because these kids were scared to death and all these people were scared to death and it scared Americans to death. But at the same time, as Rick says, it's most likely about revenge against that school. Because apparently this trans person, or at the time they were a man, and he went to that school. Apparently Catholic schools or religious schools tend to be more abusive, especially when it comes to these Catholic schools, private schools. But it was like probably most likely a revenge thing against that school because they put him, her, whatever through hell. So, but yet this her commentary here, this TikToker is very
shooting.
okay. Let me actually unmute it.
I wonder if the parents of the victims of the Nashville shooting today would still have their children if these trans bills in Tennessee were never a thing. I'm not a parent, but if I were, I'd be real mad at the government. I'd be real mad at the government.
Yeah, so apparently she's blaming the government for passing, or the government of Tennessee for passing these anti-trans legislation that they passed. Meanwhile, if I remember correctly, in Tennessee in particular, they were talking about how the so-called anti-trans legislation was like anti-drag show legislation where kids couldn't go to drag shows, which apparently it made trans activists very angry and leftists very angry about that. I don't know whether they actually passed any anti-trans legislation, but I do remember that being passed in a lot of red states. They've been passing legislation like that. Why did I just do that? So yeah, that's the update of the school shooting and what Biden said and did and all the other ridiculous stuff. So now I'm going to move on. I'm not sure if you guys heard about this. I'm assuming you have because, excuse me, why wouldn't you? But um, yesterday, a Rand Paul staffer was stabbed multiple times in Washington in broad daylight. So I wanted to cover that too. This is new. Man who attacked Rand Paul D.C. staffer let out of prison 1 day prior to serving 12 years. So as soon as he released from prison, apparently he decided to stab a random Rand Paul staffer for no reason. It's very interesting. Really? Didn't I just fucking... yeah, I mean, allegedly. Here you go. Glenn Neal, the man who allegedly brutally attacked Senator Rand Paul staffer Saturday, was... Oh, apparently this happened Saturday. I thought it happened yesterday, but so when I first saw it. released from prison 1 day prior to the stabbing, according to reports. In 2011, Neal was sentenced to 12 years and 4 months in prison on charges of compelling an individual to live a life of prostitution without his or her consent.
Kentucky Senator.
Just rid of that. In other words, he's a pimp. That's just a fancy way of calling this guy a pimp. Compelling an individual to live a life of prostitution without his or her consent, and a threat to kidnap and injure a person. According to the Department of Justice, Neal served a federal prison sentence for forcing 2 women to engage in prostitution, Fox 5 reported. So he was a pimp, and for no reason came out of prison to shoot. This is the Rand Paul staffer who was stabbed apparently multiple times. This man, Tim Todd is his name because that's what it says here. I assume Tim Todd Facebook. So as you can see, is highlighted right there underneath this photo. This past weekend, a member of my staff was brutally attacked in broad daylight in Washington, D.C. To join Kelly and me in praying for a speedy and complete recovery and thanking first responders, hospital staff, and police for their diligent actions. We were relieved to hear the suspect has been arrested, and at this time we would ask for privacy. Everybody can focus on healing and recovery, Paul said following a statement following the attack. Following the incident, an arrest for assault to attempt to kill was made by Metropolitan Police Department, DC Metro Police Department. MPD announces an arrest has been made in reference to the assault with intent to kill knife offense that occurred on Saturday, March 25th, 2023 in the 1300 block of H Street, NE. Thank you for all assisting in the arrest. Blah, blah, blah. The assault comes after Washington, D.C. City Council pushed to change the city's criminal code by reducing penalties on violent crime. Congress intervened and President Biden nullified the proposed changes. So apparently in Washington, the city council wanted to change the criminal code by reducing penalties on violent crimes. But Congress intervened and the president nullified the proposed changes. So the Washington City Council wanted to change legislation, wanted to change the laws to decrease punishment for violent crimes. And then the president and Congress said, no, you're not going to do that. That's ridiculous. Hurt people, and create division by the elites. Yep. Though is the problem in this country and has us going after each other. They maintain their status quo, their wealth. Yep. I mean, we're all attacking each other for no reason. I don't know why this former pimp attacked this Rand Paul staffer after just getting out of prison after serving 12 years. Most likely what happened, and again, I'm speculating, I don't know. After serving 12 years in prison, he got used to the prison lifestyle. You know, the structure and what to do all day. And when he was released, he didn't know how to readjust back in society. So unfortunately, he was walking through Washington and decided to stab some random person. That random person turned out to be a Rand Paul staffer. And now he's back in prison, and he'll probably do decades more in prison for this crime. That's my theory. That's my speculation on why this happened. Ultimately, he wanted to go back to prison, so he assaulted the first person he came across, which was this Rand Paul staffer. And now, hopefully he doesn't die, but if he does, then he's looking at decades more in prison. Excuse me, for murder. Right now, he's charged with assault with intent to kill. So that's. I'm not sure. I assume there's a decades-long sentence for that in Washington, but if there isn't, then let's get rid of that. So far, good streams. I mean, the bottom line is that there's too much violence and too much stabbings, and we all being violent to each other. And meanwhile, the elites and the rich get their money, keep their money, and do what they need, and the status quo continues, and nothing changes. So this is another example of that. Lauren Bolbert says the violence in Washington D.C. is absolutely out of control. A staffer for Rand Paul was stabbed multiple times in broad daylight. This isn't unique to Washington, but every single blue city in the nation. It's time to get our inner cities and downtowns under, I assume, under control. She never finished it. Under control. Okay, yeah, he did finish it. Just that the abbreviation didn't show it. A staff member for Senator Rand Paul, excuse me, has been stabbed multiple times in broad daylight. Prayers for this staff member. This is the statement. Yeah, it's all pretty much was covered in the Fox News article. So, yep. So we have more violence, more stabbings. What was that? This is an invalid something. I don't know. Something popped up there and I lost it. Wait a minute. Why is Uvalde trending? This happened months ago. I don't know why this is trending. Like, everybody is talking about the Uvalde shooting. Like that should be trending now. I guess because it's the most recent shooting after the one in Nashville. But still, I mean, there's really no reason for that to be trending right now. So yeah, there's just a bunch of. I can go on and on like like covering this stuff. And it was haunting to watch that video of that woman going back and forth around. Body camera footage of Nashville police responding to and neutralizing trans school shooter at Audrey Aiden Hale. Apparently, the male name is her. This trans stuff confuses me so much. His, her, he, him, whatever, has been released. Many trans activists, often the same one who want police abolished, has taken to social media to mourn the shooter's death. I've not seen those tweets. People mourning the shooter's death. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I've not seen those tweets personally. Active shooter Audrey Elizabeth Hale drove through the church. I already showed that. Trump train. Drano. Alejandra Calaballo says Nashville TD just released body cam footage and the trolls are already using this to celebrate the killing of a trans person. Gender neutralized. Gender neutralized? I don't even get what that means. Like, I don't. Yeah, I mean, this probably is a troll, but still, I mean, that's not a good job of trolling. I have no idea what gender neutralized even means. Oh, so the shooting is on YouTube? Is apparently I'm because YouTube's terms of service is so insane that I don't want to get a community guideline strike where we're showing the actual shooter. Gender neutral is a term. Gender neutralized. Oh, okay. I think I get it now. Yeah, I know gender neutral is a term, but I'm thinking gender neutralized, but I don't even get that. So now I get it now, but it takes me sometimes it takes a while for my brain to process certain things. Probably trending due to the quick and decisive action taken by police in the most recent school shooting. Yeah, that's right. That's a good point because I was reading some of the tweets, which is basically what they were talking about. Uvalde police took what, hours before they finally got in there to stop the shooter? Hours. They were standing outside, all basically with their guns out, like this. Like, we go in? What do we do? I don't know. Let's just stand here like pussies while the shooter just kills all these kids and teachers and stuff. I mean, it was out. Meanwhile, the Nashville Police Department right in there took care of the problem, and that's it. body cam footage again. Audrey Hale, him, he, him. Wait, so that's this person Twitter or whatever? Because it's weird because it says he, him, but the name is Audrey. It's that type of stuff confuses me at times. You know the gender terms for trans people and stuff, and it's just I'm confused at times. You know? Outstanding response from Nashville Police Department. This is the model how it should be done. Breaking: Nashville PD confirmed the school shooter had written about several other locations in her manifesto. Oh, this is new.
Writings about other locations. Questions again.
What was in the manifesto?
So in the manifesto, there's several different writings about other locations. There were locations. There was talks about the school. There was a map of the school, a drawing of how potentially she would enter and the assaults that would take place. It's quite a bit of writing to it. I have not read the entire manifesto. Our team and the FBI has been working on this. Questions again.
Apparently, she had other places written down that she wanted to go to, not just a school. So she was going to go on a shooting spree in multiple locations. Not just the school was the first place she hit, and luckily Nashville police came in and stopped her quickly. If her other people had to be hurt. So this is after the shooting. Okay. She's laying down there already dead, and looks like so. It's pixelated, so you can't really see much, but.
Hey, hold the air. Go.
Alright, and this is them going in, and let me mute this, because this is fucking annoying. Look at the douchey guy with the smile there. You know, like the religious, over-the-top religiosity there. Like, you know, like... Well, of course, it's Nashville. It's a more conservative part of the country, but there's a lot more of these religious schools down south than there is, up here in New Jersey where I'm at. That cop pushes this cop at least twice, and I saw the whole on body cam. He just shoves that cop 2 or 3 times. Like, hurry up, motherfucker. It's like he was excited to get in there. There's this cop here, Officer Michael Colazzo. That's his camera. Yeah, I know she was a student there in the past, and my speculation is that they mistreated her while she was there, and she wanted revenge for the way they treated her, which is why she went there to, shoot the school up. But here's the thing with that, though. Why take it out on the kids? They had nothing to do with that. If you wanted revenge, then you could have gone after the staff or the principal, headmaster, whoever's in charge of the school. Why do you feel the need to kill kids? I don't... clearly she wasn't in her right mind, so... Here's the thing that's interesting. This cop, right there, she's down at this point. They already shot her 2 or 3 times. She's down. You go frame by frame. Right there, she's down. She's right there underneath where this chair is at. You can't really see her. But this cop here proceeds to shoot her 2 or 3 more times. You can see the smoke coming from his weapon. He proceeds to shoot her 2 or 3 more times when she's down. So there she is right there. She's down. At that point, she's dead. But this cop here proceeds to shoot her 2 or 3 more times. Let me unmute this. Let me play it.
Moving! Stop moving!
See, he shoots even though the gun it doesn't pick it up on the audio for some reason, but he does shoot her. He's like, "Stop moving," and he shoots at least 2 or 3 times. This video doesn't pick it up, but I did see a video where it picks up where there's at least 3 shots that you can see the smoke coming out of the gun too. He's like, "Stop moving!" And then you see the smoke coming out of the gun. 1, 2. Looks like 2 there. Hold on. I remember 3 shots being fired, unless another cop fired. Here you really see 2 shots, and she's already down at this point. And now her body flops around like that, taking those bullets. Yeah, it was 3 shots, but you can't really pick it up on this footage for some reason. So he fired 3 shots after she was down. So that could be a little bit of an issue, but again, I'm sure nobody's gonna feel bad for this shooter. So I'm not sure. It probably won't be investigated much at all. He definitely hit a headshot. Yeah, it looks like a headshot, especially when she flopped like this. You can see her head move slightly, even though it's pixelated her head, but you can see like the head doing that. So definitely it's like Grand Theft Auto style, and I hate to compare it to the game, but it's very similar to that. When you're like when you shoot somebody in the head when they're down, like they do that. So this is like real life when like Grand Theft Auto, but those are 2 cops who came in bravely and shot him or her. Body cam. This is a bunch of body cam footage. Footage with the most recent shooting in Nashville say today they killed the girl shooter within a few minutes, unlike Uvalde PD, where dozens of armed cops waited outside for almost an hour while wounded children bled out. Yeah, I mean, that was just beyond outrageous. Like, Biden is rambling about investing in America right now. Really? That's interesting. I wonder if I can pick up a live stream of that. Because I keep rambling about the shooting instead of, Biden's hot mic reveals how handlers program in every move. This is 100% real. What is this?
Down here?
Yes, sir. Down the ramp.
Oh my God.
And we have people lined up on the left over here. Some union leaders and workers.
Hey, guys and ladies.
Your mark is going to be the blue one to the left.
How y'all doing?
Your mark is the blue one to the left.
You've got a blue mark, and that's okay.
I'll stay in my blue mark, and then I'm going to say load each one of you.
Yes, sir. I'll help you get started.
Oh my God. His staff doesn't trust Biden. Biden's staff doesn't trust him to the point where they have to point by point tell him, "Oh, Mr. President, here, see this ramp? You go down this ramp. You see the union activist over there? You're gonna turn left, and then you're gonna stand on that blue mark right there that we put there, and you're gonna shake every single one of their hands of these union leaders. And you see that? Oh my God, like that's beyond embarrassing there." ChatGPT says the U.S. government overthrew the Ukraine government in 2014. The U.S. government backed the ousting of Ukraine President Viktor Yanukovych in a coup that brought pro-Western leaders to power. How many people know Obama, Biden, and Nuland ousted the Ukrainian government in 2014? Oh my God! Even the AI knows that the United States overthrew Ukraine in 2014. I mean, that's random because that wasn't even intending on looking for this. This is the AI, the Chat GPT AI. It was that the United States has a long history of involvement in coup and regime changes, both overtly and covertly, in countries around the world. Some examples of U.S. involvement in regime change and coups include Operation Ajax in 1953. The U.S. government, working with the British, orchestrated a coup to overthrow democratically elected Prime Minister of Iran, Mohammad Mossadegh, in order to protect Western oil interests. Guatemalan coup. God, Guatemalan coup, 1954. The CIA helped orchestrate a coup that overthrew the democratically elected president of Guatemala, Jacopo 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 Arbenz. Yeah, I butchered his name because he threatened the interests of U.S. corporations such as the United Fruit Company. Again, this is where the term Banana Republic comes because of this coup, 1954. Bay of Pigs invasion, 1961. The U.S. government supported a failed attempt by Cuban exiles to overthrow the government of Fidel Castro, which failed miserably. Those Cuban exiles were immediately arrested and thrown in jail by the Castro government. So it was like instant fail as soon as they landed. It was like, oh yeah, you're under arrest, motherfucker. It was like instantly. It was embarrassing, for the U.S. Chilean coup, 1973. The U.S. government backed a coup that overthrew the democratically elected government of the president of Chile, Salvador Allende, and installed a military dictatorship under General Augusto Pinochet, who proceeded to be in power nearly 20 years and just just killed a bunch of Chileans and just completely destroyed the economy, and it was fucked. Pinochet, one of the most scariest generals. I mean, there were a bunch of military juntas in South America at that time. We overthrew everyone in South America and installed military governments that were friendly to us. Chilean coup, Grenadian coup, 1983. U.S. government invaded Grenada following a coup by Marxist elements within the government. Haitian coup, 1991. The U.S. government supported a military coup that overthrew the democratically elected president of Haiti, Jean Baptiste. I'm going to butcher that name because he was seen as too left wing by American policymakers. Venezuelan coup, 2002. The U.S. government supported a coup that briefly overthrew democratically elected president of Venezuela, Hugo Chavez. 2 days, 48 hours. I remember that specifically. He's out of power 48 hours. Had to bring him back because the Venezuelan people essentially went on a general strike and nothing happened in the country for those 2 days. So he brought back into power. Ukrainian coup, 2014. The U.S. government backed the ousting Ukraine President Viktor Yanukovych in a coup that brought pro-Western leaders to power. These examples, blah, 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 blah. Basically, somehow, a goddamn AI nailed it. It's like, and meanwhile, none of these, let me see some of the chat. Chat GPT just made a terrorist list. ChatGPT is not reliable. You can force it to make any claim you want. But yeah, this isn't wrong though. I mean, this is all correct and stuff. None of this is wrong. So yeah, that may be possibly true. I haven't used it yet, but yeah, I mean, it could be it. But this is all correct here. Should I use? You know what? Should I use it now and see just for fun? Ask it some question. GP, what's it called? Chat GPT. Okay. How to use Chat GPT. Blah blah blah. Read the response. Customize the settings. If you'd like to customize the setting for your chat, such as maximum length of the response style output, you can do it using the settings menu. Simply click the gear icon to access the settings. Okay. Well, apparently, yeah, you can. Is ChatGPT secure from my projects? OpenAI is taking steps to ensure the security of ChatGPT and associated technologies. Like, I've heard people actually use ChatGPT to write essays and stuff for them. Yeah, I know that ChatGPT there's a lot of like establishment talking points that the AI uses. I've seen that before. Let's see. A suggestion in the chat. Who killed President Kennedy? Oops, I misspelled it. I still misspelled it. God, I can't spell right now. I suck. A chat GPT, the CIA. The CIA. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be. Yeah, I can't spell Kennedy for some reason. Edy. All right. Oops. Oh God. Here we go. We apologize. Experiencing a sharp increase in number of requests at the moment. We are working to increase our capacity to handle the load. Oh, great. So apparently there's too many people using it at once right now. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I can't use it right now. Great. Let me try something. Hold on a second. I mean, it's like completely. Let me actually do this. Jeez, I mean, it's like. Yeah, see, it says we apologize. We're experiencing a sharp increase in number of requests at this moment. We're working to increase our capacity to handle the load. So apparently, either doesn't want to answer my question or it's legitimate. That there's not enough. Let me see. Who killed JFK? Yeah, I mean, it's saying the same thing. It's too many people using it right now. There's way too many people using it right now. So hold on. Let me. Probably a government doing a denial of service attack. I mean, anything. At this point, anything's possible. So let me. Because since I'm on a Google Chromebook, like I'm able to use like the Google version of this. Hold on. So let me see something. Entire screen. So let me see if you guys can see this or not. It looks like you can. You can barely see this though. Hey, yeah, this is like super small though. Hold on. No. Joe says only MAGA Republicans are sending jobs to China, and he's putting a stop to it. Yeah, this was blame Republicans for things that. Did I just close that? And get rid of that. So I hope you guys can see this. This is kind of small, and I have no way to make it bigger. This is like the Google Play app of this. Who? Because it says allegedly that I would be able to use this like this. Why is this not working? Oh, here it is. Who killed JFK? It's thinking. Your current limit is 2. Oops, did I just fuck this up? The Kennedy assassination remains an unsolved mystery. Various theories have been proposed over the years, including involvement of multiple shooters, government conspiracy, organized crime. However, no conclusive evidence has been found to support any one theory. The official investigation by Warren Committee concluded that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone, blah, 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 but it remains skeptical of this conclusion. In other words, it's like, oh, well, we don't know exactly what happened. I heard some IRS agents showed up to Matt Taibbi's house today to testify to Congress. Really? That's a new one. I didn't hear that. I mean, that's interesting. I mean, if that's true, then. Alright, what other question should I ask? So basically, it gave me, like, talking points, like government talking points. It's like. So that's who killed JFK. Allegedly, there's no real answer to this. There's no real answers, even though we all pretty much know that the government did kill Kennedy. That's been. Let's see. What other question? Is there a deep state? a American deep state. Hmm. The concept of American deep state refers to a hypothetical. Is Joe Biden a socialist? Yeah, if Joe Biden's a socialist, I'm the biggest capitalist in the world. This is ridiculous. Google's basically the CIA. Yeah, I mean they have investors. I mean they're public companies, so I'm sure the government, like the CIA, is a big investor in Google. The concept of American deep state refers to a hypothetical covert network of influential individuals within the government, military, intelligence agencies, and other sectors who are believed to be working behind the scenes to manipulate public policy and promote their own agendas. While there is no clear evidence of a well-organized, coordinated deep state operating in the United States, there are certainly individuals and groups who seek to wield power or influence in ways that are not always transparent or accountable. This can include lobbyist special interest groups and others who seek to shape policy to their advantage. However, the idea of a shouty, all-powerful deep state pulling the strings of American politics remains a matter of speculation and debate. Oh, you meant to ask ChatGPT. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. I thought you meant, like, but yeah, I mean, it's just, there's an American deep state gave me just a paragraph of gobbledygook. Like, it was like, oh yeah, maybe, but there's really no direct evidence. Is Joe Biden a socialist? It's thinking about it. It's taking a while. Still thinking. Still thinking. Holy crap! This thing is still taking a while to think. It's trying to give me the right answer. It's like, is Joe Biden a socialist? It's like thinking. It didn't take that long to give me a deep answer in a deep state, and it was like 2 paragraphs long of nonsense. But now it's thinking. It's literally still thinking. Like, holy crap! If you don't want to answer, just tell me. The Chat GPT is still thinking. Isn't it an AI? Should pop out an answer within a few seconds. It's been like a minute because I sent this at 3 something, 3:17. It's like 3:18, and it's still thinking. It's the toughest question of all time. Like, is Joe Biden a socialist? It's his thinking. And it's been like that for a while. So I should ask it. I should ask it about either whether Ukraine. I should ask it a tough foreign policy question. I bet it'll come up with an answer quicker than this. Or I should ask it to write me a 100-page dissertation for my college PhD course, and it'll come up with it quickly than this. Thinking. It's the longest. I wonder if anybody ever stumped ChatGPT the way I just did. If you use ChatGPT in the chat, have you stumped it like this? I mean, I have never. I mean, this is the first time I used it today. And it's like, I stumped it. Is Joe Biden a socialist? Wait, it's stalling what? It's stalling until the feds get to your house. Oh, shit. It could be that. Like, you know what? It's still thinking. You know what? Screw it. Yeah, I know damn well it's not a socialist. So let me cut this out. But yeah, I mean, I probably use it. Like, I probably use it more often because it's kind of interesting to see what the chatbot has to say, the AI. But I love that. That's so fascinating. And I was like, holy shit. Yeah, I mean, I closed it up. Yeah, it took, what, 3 minutes. I've been in his thinking. It's like, what does that mean? Is Joe Biden a socialist? I don't want to answer this, but at the same time, I'm supposed to answer it because if I don't, then people won't take me seriously as an AI. It took, let me think. I'm still thinking. I don't know what to answer. Hopefully, he'll give up and close it eventually, which is what I end up doing. But he clearly didn't want to answer. It was calling AOC about the macro and micro. I mean, I couldn't believe how ridiculous. I mean, it didn't answer my question. And look, if you don't want to answer my question, say I don't want to answer your question. Or say give me a word salad, but of nonsense. But it just never answered the question. So now I was gonna talk about like the TYT Kyle Kulinski whole thing where they give where they basically condescendingly talk about the right wing and how to talk to them, and they're condescending about it, and they say the right wing's propagandized and all that other crap. But I'm scrapping that because I have a headache. I really don't feel like talking about. I don't feel like dealing or mentioning with TYT or Kulinski today. But I did come across this video, which is fast. It's from a month ago, and then I'll probably wrap up because it's almost 3:20. It's this, the Rational National. Apparently, they have a podcast or show, whatever, called the Leftist Mafia. Never heard of it. So somebody let me know on Twitter. Is like, wait, what? The Leftist Mafia? What the fuck is that? I looked it up, and here's your mafia, or the alleged mafia, at least. You have the Surf, Matt Binder, whatever the fuck his name is, Oleami Olerin. Damn, I'm looking forward for you to shitting on them. I'll probably do it tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Wednesday? Yeah, I'll probably do it tomorrow because I'm scrapping it today because it's just too much of a headache. I have a headache right now. Mike Figueredo and David Dole. So they're the alleged leftist mafia. And again, when I laugh because at least four of these dudes, no, two of them blocked me on Twitter because I questioned them. I questioned them on the most simplest things in the world. So they don't like to be questioned. Figueredo and David Dole both blocked me on Twitter. Matt Binder hasn't blocked me yet, which I'm surprised because I've called him out a lot on Twitter. And the Surf, who is this dude? Is that Lance? I think his name is Lance. I've seen him before. He's just a ridiculous dude. Anyways, this is like from a month ago, but I watched it and I was like, holy crap. I mean, these guys, like they spent 18 minutes, or let me see, let me make sure. Yeah, 17 minutes and 36 seconds to be exact, talking about Jimmy Dore and his burner accounts. Like this is like a real story to them. They spent 17 minutes on this a month ago. I'm like, how the hell they pulled that off? They spent 17 minutes talking about Jimmy Dore in his alleged burner accounts. I'm like, and then they were like, I couldn't believe it. It's like, yeah, they did do it. So I'll play some of this. I mean, because let me see.
From Lance yesterday, and I cracked up all the way through. This was the Libtardo one.
Watching a video.
Oh yeah, his name is Lance. Okay, the Surf
from Lance is opening Pandora's.
We got we.
I wanted to circle around it before I dropped the name, but it was so fucking funny.
Yeah, circle around it. Yeah.
If Lance wants to give us like the rundown of the whole situation where it got to the "you're Jimmy" moment, it would make my life. It would make my fucking life.
Well, fill me in.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna give. I'll pass this one off to Matt at one point because Matt really did.
Matt Binder wrote an entire article about Jimmy Dore in his burner account. He had I think Leftist Dirtbag was the account, and it's allegedly Jimmy Dore's account. And I was like, he wrote an entire article on this. Like Binder thinks that that's somehow breaking news, and that Jimmy Dore somehow has burner accounts when we all have burner accounts on Twitter. That we use for her backup accounts, burner accounts, whatever you want to call it. We all have one or two. And he's like, I said breaking news. I mean, Jimmy Dore has a burner account. It's the best way shitlibs can get clips. Jimmy, Jimmy, Jimmy all the time. It's true. It's either Jimmy, Jimmy, Jimmy or Joe Rogan or Trump. That's the three people. That's the three people that that they constantly go to in order to get views. Jimmy has admitted to it. It's not news. No, it wasn't. It's not. I didn't know he admitted to it, but I knew that even if it wasn't account, I don't care. Even if it was his account, it's like, really, this is what you want to. It spent 18 minutes talking about this and making like a big deal out of this. The fact that Jimmy Dore had this burner account, which he admitted to, apparently that was his account. So I don't know why. It's like a month ago though, so I'm not sure Jimmy admitted around that time. I didn't see that he admitted it, but it's like it. This is cringe, but I play a little bit more of it though because I find at the same time it's funny.
Did do a lot of detective work.
How happy and excited they are because they discovered this burner account that Jimmy Dore has.
And put in the hours, so I don't want to take away his glory of discovering Libtard at 1.
His glory, Matt Binder's glory that he discovered Jimmy had a burner account. Oh, he did on his show? Okay. I must have missed that because I do watch his show regularly. It's just I must have missed when he said that. But yeah, it's like they're so excited about how Jimmy Dore they discovered Jimmy's burner account and Jimmy outed himself apparently. So let me get to that part because this is so cringe that.
Yeah, like.
All right, so this is the tweet they're excited about. Imagine ignoring that the Surfs TV had to lie in order to make Jimmy look like a right winger. And in fact, he said the opposite of what they claimed just because you hate Jimmy and have no character at all. Imagine. So that's Jimmy outing himself that, he accidentally used his main account instead of the burner account. And they're making such a huge deal out of this. Oh my God, guys, see, Jimmy has a burner account. We broke the story here. Jimmy accidentally used his main account instead of using his burner account. Yeah, I don't care. It's like, to me, if I would have seen, I didn't see this tweet, but if I would have seen it, it's like, why is Jimmy talking to third person? Like, he doesn't seem to have that type of ego talking to third person. But apparently he meant to tweet this out of his backup account and accidentally tweeted it out in his main account. He can't use it because his main account when they all block him. Yeah, that's a good point. They all blocked. Why? How did they see this tweet if they all blocked him? Unless the Surf didn't block him clearly because he responded to say you're Jimmy. but yeah, I'm sure that Figueiredo and Dole and Binder here they all blocked him. I don't know about Oleami because she claims she doesn't know much about Jimmy Dore. Even though she proceeds to kind of smear Jimmy Dore later on in this clip. But, yeah, she claims she doesn't know Jimmy Dore. But later on, she ends up smearing him. Like, wait, what? But you say you didn't know him. Are you trying just to suck up to your friends that do know him on this podcast?
So I woke up to this. I'll have you all know. I woke up and I'm like in my bed and I'm scrolling through, and then all of a sudden I saw this. I was like, no, you didn't just write this in the third person.
I don't know.
Fine when Jimmy's.
They proceed to play a Seinfeld clip. Like they proceed to play a Seinfeld clip from 30 years ago or something when Seinfeld was popular, and they compare it to Jimmy Dore, like Elaine meets Jimmy. Who, honestly, I grew up in the 90s. I was never a big Seinfeld fan. It's like I never saw a single episode, and they used the Seinfeld clip to kind of, Let's go towards where she's talking because she claims she doesn't know Jimmy, but she proceeds to smear him too. I don't want to put you guys too much cringe because I cringe throughout this entire video. I don't want to play the whole thing though.
On Salt Bay Laughing, and also Tucker Carlson and some other right winger. I can't remember who, but like these are right wingers. Like they know it. Maybe there's a few left.
Wait. I'm on to hear what Mike said.
No, I be getting so much I get so many sprays because y'all. They just be shooting me all week. I be like, I don't even know these fucking people.
It's because they're literally right wingers, and like
they're literally right wingers. And she agrees, like, yeah, like, wait, but you didn't know Jimmy. Like, why are you assuming he's a right winger?
Most of them, I think, know that. A few of them,
or at least she claims she doesn't know Jimmy. I mean, I'm sure that she's heard of him. She's had to have heard of him. Yes, I don't believe for a second that she had no idea of Jimmy Dore, especially if she's in this space.
Maybe don't realize it, but I think at this point, most of them realize.
It's not like they're talking about me and nobody knows who the fuck I am. You know, I mean, I wouldn't if it's talking about me and it's like, okay, fine, I get it. It's talking about Jimmy Dore. Has over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. I like using Jink or Sammy Cedar for all my alt accounts.
What the hell's going on?
They do know. There's a meme maker who loves Jimmy Dore who makes memes of all of us. And there was one video of Salt Bae sprinkling us into a toilet. And my face that they used was like smiling really loud. And then they photoshopped Jimmy's face on Salt Bae.
Mike Figueredo's whining about
Salt Bae laughing
and getting used in memes and stuff about making fun of him. So that's that part.
And don't nobody people
who aren't assholes like Bernie Sanders
is
not like doing this
right,
shit,
but like why are he on these people's head? Like I don't really. It seems to me the only time I see him and don't nobody please don't get me in no bullshit. Don't tag me in this man. I don't know him. I don't let him personal. But
okay, then why are you smearing him? If you don't want to be tagged on this and you don't want to be involved in whole Jimmy Dore drama, why or any of this stuff? Why are you smearing him? He proceeds to like basically smear him here.
The only time I ever see anything from him or any mention from him or his world, it just seems like just trying to like dunk on other people that you allege to be on your same side of the fence, but you're like this litmus test. So it just feels like that all the time. It just always feels like petty, really petty things. Like, oh my God, like the door, like this whole I was right. Every time I see him, something about him on the timeline, it's like he said that. I'm like, what is I'm like
what she's doing there is she sees these like partisan hack Democrat accounts who all they do is clip out clips of Jimmy Dore doing that, and she doesn't, or either she's ignoring it or she doesn't know that he has Aaron Mate on regularly, he has Max Blumenthal on regularly. He doesn't. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's like he has on Aaron Mate, he has on Max Blumenthal, he has on all these actual journalists and stuff, Matt Taibbi, to discuss actual important stories. And all she knows about Jimmy Dore is these hack accounts that hate Jimmy Dore, these liberals, and tweet out his quote unquote worst moments or whatever. That's all she's seen about him. I mean, it's like, really? I mean, why don't you keep your mouth shut or just keep your mouth shut? I mean, I'm not expecting her to defend Jimmy Dore because she allegedly doesn't know him, but Jesus, I mean, just to pile on with your little buddies here, just because they all hate Jimmy Dore doesn't mean you have to pile on, even though she has no clue who she is, allegedly.
Like, what? Like, we have a tally somewhere? Like, why are you?
He keeps score for himself.
Every time I see them, like, okay, guys.
And that's why, like, anytime someone brings up the idea that the left is they're too they're too puritanical, they're purists, they're all this thing. What pops in my head are people like Jimmy Dore who pretend to be on the left but are on the right, make money pretending they're on the left. All they do is attack the left. Like, you're never going to get rid of those people. Like, you can criticize the left all you want about how pure we are or whatever. Like, I'm very welcoming. I want to educate. I don't expect people to be, to be born with the right position. I used to be basically conservative. Like, I understand people can grow and change. People like Jimmy are always going to exist because there's always going to be that incentive there to try and make money off of pretending you're on the left. Whereas, like, is there a right winger in media that's like really well known who only attacks the right? Like, does that exist?
I just find it so
There's no fucking money to do that.
No, there isn't. No, that's an excellent point, David. There isn't. You only ever see that from our.
They love making like money. It's all about the money for Jimmy. Meanwhile, the Young Turks take tens of millions of dollars from right-wing investors. Kyle Kulinski is about to marry Crystal Ball, who's a multi-millionaire herself. But they don't mention those guys. They don't mention the Young Turks' money. They don't mention Kyle Kulinski basically marrying into millions of dollars himself. They don't mention Kyle Kulinski attacking like Trump. Look at his channel right now, nothing but Trump, because that makes the most money and gets the most ad revenue for him. He lies. He protects Marianne Williamson. Lies about it. Lies to protect her all the time. The idea that Jimmy Dore only cares about money. When during the pandemic, he literally said, "Don't give me your money. Don't become a member. Don't give me your money because everyone's struggling right now." That man cares about money and only cares about his money and care about becoming rich. David Dole's the worst. He blocked me on Twitter instantly. I asked him, like, I challenged him a little bit on one of his something. What was it? Something about either might have been Hillary Clinton or something. He praised Hillary Clinton for something, and then I challenged him a little bit. He blocked me instantly. It was like, damn, he blocked me already. I didn't curse at him. I should have cursed him out or something. At least, it would have been worth it. But he instantly blocked me. They all look like they haven't taken a bath in a while. Oh my god, Jesus! Yeah, I mean, it's like at least make your hair look good or a little bit of shave, do something. It's like don't like clean your face. Yeah, I didn't even think of that until she said it. Karen said
our
it.
side of it, whatever kind of leftist, you only ever see it from our side. It's this constant, why are you calling yourself a leftist? Oh, you're a liberal, you're this. Like, and I'm just like, it feels.
She doesn't like being called out. That's clear. It's like she's mad. Why? You're not a real leftist. Why are you saying that about me? She's clearly been criticized about that. She's clearly been criticized, Oleamia, about how she's not a real leftist, and she's mad about it because clearly she has some sort of emotional response when she's not called a real. All they do is say that why we aren't real leftists and all this other stuff. Clearly, that bothers her. Mike is going for the omnish look. Yeah, it's like, dude, just shave. Or at the very least, trim your beard. I personally don't like that. Beards down here. Some people have it; it's fine, but I'm not really into it that much.
Feels so.
In fact, right now I didn't shave. I didn't shave today, so I'm kind of doing. I'm kind of like, I need to shave. When can I shave? It's kind of bothering me that I haven't shaved yet. But
productive, and I think about this. I'm like, are you actually producing content? Are you actually advocating for anything?
Yes.
Or are you just shitting on everybody else's? Are you just responding to what they're doing? And that's what it feels to me like. Oh,
yes, Jimmy Dore actually does produce real content. Yes, he does. It's like, just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean he doesn't do it. Like I said, he's had Aaron Mate on. He's had Max Blumenthal on. He's had all the multiple different journalists on to talk about real stories and real serious topics. And she's pretending like he doesn't, like Jimmy doesn't, or most of these leftists. I'm going to talk about Jimmy in particular. He does have these people on, and they talk about. In fact, they go into hour-long videos about Russia, Ukraine. They go into hour-long videos about the alleged gas attack in Syria that didn't happen. Duma was that happened. So they go into Jimmy goes in depth with Blumenthal, with Aaron Mate, with all these fantastic journalists. Here's the thing, though. They don't like that because They don't like that because ultimately, maybe it's the beards. I don't like facial hair. Yeah, I mean, well, for me, I have facial hair, but I keep it trimmed, so that's why I'm not like this, or my goatee isn't way down here and stuff. But nonetheless, they don't like That's why for stories, because it calls out their bullshit because they've gone full warmonger on Russia, Ukraine, especially on Russia, Ukraine. They're all these guys, Lance, Matt Binder, Mike Figueredo, David Dole. I don't know much about Oleami. That's why I'm not really going to mention her in that. But the other four definitely have been all in on the Russia Ukraine narrative that the media and the government's putting out.
People know Greta, so now you shitting on Greta. Oh, this, da da da.
Mhm.
Every time I look, I see her like.
Yeah, this shit.
I'm just gonna get to this video real quick because I can't. I don't want to go watch the cringe, and I don't want you guys. I don't want to subject you guys to this cringe. But the show is called The Leftist Mafia, by the way. Like basically a mafia is people who don't play games and people who are proud to be. None of these people are really leftists. That's just it's like, and they call themselves the leftist mafia. So it's such an ironic name when all these people are pretty much either center right or just they're like centrist or center right at best. It's like this is a video that some doctor put out according to Mike. to Figueredo here. Jimmy Dore claims that Marjorie Taylor Greene is out-lefting the left all the time because she's spreading the same dangerous medical conspiracy theories as him. The only evidence he presents is a ratio tweet that he himself helped orchestrate. So this video here is from some sort of
but
who is it? I don't remember, but it's some kind of epidemiologist, some expert who basically toes the establishment line on COVID.
Vaccines and COVID and science.
Yeah, this shit.
But he debunked the fuck now. Exactly about that. Like I had a molecular biologist on the show, so I can.
A molecular biologist. Lance had on his show. So somebody that I'm not sure. I don't know who this doctor is. I'm assuming it's Canadian. It's Canadian. He's Canadian. Or I'm not sure because Lance is Canadian too. So I'm assuming he had on a Canadian doctor on to talk about this. And that doctor follows the establishment line on COVID essentially. And Lance had him on, and and blah 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 blah.
Can't speak right now. A molecular biologist on my show yesterday. His name is Dr. Wilson from Debunk the Funk.
She's been on Rising. Yeah, she's been on RBN. I mean, I've don't know much about her, which is why I don't really want to judge her too much, whether she's a shit lib or not. I don't think she is, because I know about her appearance on RBN, and I liked some of the things she said, but it's just weird that she would end up on this show with these 4 upper middle class white shit libs. I mean, it's just weird that she ended up on this hosting the leftist mafia with these fuckers.
With Dr. Wilson, everyone go subscribe to his YouTube channel. He's super
Dr. Wilson, okay.
Based. He debunks all the.
Who says based? It's like a teenager. He sounds like a teenager. Who says based regularly? Kyle Kulinski is like, oh, that's based. It's like, what are you, 15? You're like a 35-year-old grown man, and you're 15 by saying based. It's because Mike is a racist. He got a token black woman. I mean, I'm surprised that she would end up on this show. I mean, it's just weird. It's a weird combination with her and these 4 upper middle class to rich white liberals. It's just weird she ended up on this show.
The right wing conspiracies on vaccines and COVID.
Yeah,
monumental thing after.
I love the fedora. Yeah,
that she's out lefting the left all the time.
So this is the tweet. Remember when they told you not to take ivermectin and HCQ to help you with COVID? They threatened to take away doctors' and pharmacists' licenses if they prescribed it. They had controlled the limited distribution of monoclonal antibodies. They owe answers, and I'll be asking. I don't know where that's wrong. They did all 3 of those things, the government. The media did all 3 of those things. They did everything that's listed there, and somehow that's not true, or, Jimmy is now a right-winger. That's proof that somehow he's a right-winger.
She was out lefting the squad on Ukraine.
Again, which is true. She was. And by the way, they never respond to that part where he says they're out lefting the squad on Ukraine. Never responds to it.
Out lefting them on COVID, and she's telling the truth about COVID. So she says, "Remember when they told you not to take ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine to help you with COVID?"
No, that's all right. This doctor who made this video is just an establishment hack. Clearly, just a pro-vaccine, pro-hack. It's like, that's all right.
And that's all this can muster when he's smearing people.
Walter Bragman. Oh, another. He should be on this show. He would make more sense to Oliemi. This is what anti-science extremism look like. The pandemic is still killing thousands every week, but Republicans like Marjorie Taylor Greene are using public office to persecute scientists, sow confusion, and promote quackery. It's dangerous. So classic Walter Bragman there. He, to this day, he's still tweeting like COVID fear-mongering, this guy.
Who are right. And this guy ratioed him. He told me, you should be ashamed of yourself. He got 117 likes. This guy's only got 33. His own followers are done with this bullshit. Bullshit. You should be ashamed of yourself. So that's why
I don't know why this is an own. It's like whoever made this video thinks this is an own, and it isn't.
I'm showing you this because it's encouraging. Because for 2.5 years now, I've had a 1 million pound weight on my shoulders, wondering what's going on in the world. No one will listen to science. No one will listen to logic.
Look at this. Look at the articles that this whoever made this video quoting. Largest study of ivermectin shows no protection against COVID-19 hospitalizations. Ivermectin does not help treat COVID, large study finds. Look at that. This one here says WebMD. So I'm supposed to trust WebMD as evidence that somehow ivermectin doesn't treat COVID-19 when history and it shows ivermectin treats all kinds of drugs and stuff, all kinds of illnesses and sicknesses. But meanwhile, we're not allowed to even look into that or study it or anything. So this is not evidence. This is just two random articles. This one's from Yahoo News, I believe. Again, like I'm supposed to trust Yahoo News. It's like and these people are laughing at this. These asswipes, like they think it's some kind of like this is all evidence against Jimmy Dore.
You should be ashamed of yourself. Ivermectin works like a motherfucker.
Oh
now,
my!
I can't say it works on.
He is not still saying this in 2023.
You should be.
All right. The reason why Jimmy's WebMD and YouTube, I know that the jabs are effective. Yeah, I mean, I have to say this: the jab's 100% effective, and and it doesn't, and it prevents and it stops the spread of COVID. YouTube terms of service there, but the reason why Jimmy said that was clearly because YouTube terms of service. He doesn't want to get a strike on his channel. That's why he said that. It's like, then they're like, oh, what's the point of this? Why did you say that? Then it doesn't work. That's the reason why he said that, because of YouTube's terms of service. I mean, these people, that was one of the most cringiest videos I've ever seen. And they think they're nailing it and owning Jimmy when they're making asses out of themselves and embarrassing themselves. The leftist mafia, I can't believe they called their show that. It's like, really? You think you're a mafia? That's what you think of yourselves? You upper middle class white rich fuckers? All of you. I've never seen any. I guarantee you none of those, except for Oleami, but the rest of them, I guarantee you none of them, they've never even been to a protest. Oleami, to her credit, has. I don't want to make. I know she's done a lot of activism and protests. So I don't want to include her in that. But the rest of those fuckers, they haven't been out of their house in hardly months. They make their videos and then they leave the house, and they never leave the house. They probably get their food delivered to them to their house, their groceries. Like they don't leave the house. They get the groceries delivered by Uber Eats or whatever. They get the grocery delivery that way. I mean, they don't even leave the house to get their groceries these days. So yeah, that'll do it for this episode of Handsome Cynic Live. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll definitely talk about the Young Turks and Kyle Kulinski and my point that I wanted to make with them. Their condescending points tomorrow about the right wing. I'll definitely try to use ChatGPT again, and this time on my screen, so you'll be able to see it better. Maybe suggest some questions to me what I can ask it. And I'll probably be I don't know what else I'm covering yet. I'm sure I'll find out over the next 24 hours or so what I'm covering tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I have my royalty-free music here. Please subscribe. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the IN YouTube channel. Subscribe to all my channels. All those links are down there, description box below. And that'll do it for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 2:15 Eastern. Right there, immediately. And I hope you guys have a great night.